Welcome to Tom Girl, where we talk all things sports, entertainment, fashion, and adventure. On today's episode, we're talking to a former Ford model who has been in more than 300 commercials and was the face of campaigns for major brands such as Maybelline and Clairol, an actress, comedian, mother, and now with her own stand-up comedy special. Welcome to the show, Rosalee Mayeux.
Thank you so much, JJ. I'm a big fan. It's such an honor to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you. Just to get us started off on the right foot, can you tell people, give me that first line that people are going to hear in your stand-up special, because I love it.
Put your dicks away. Your mother is here.
Yes. You had me at that one. I mean, I was like, okay, yep. I'm like, she's my kind of lady.
They're never going to let me on TV shows. It's just gonna, oh my gosh.
I mean, since that's such a freaking great opening, I mean, let's just start right away about talking about the stand-up special and, how it came to be and, what made you do this and where the material came from.
Oh my gosh. I don't think you can live without family jokes. I come from Southwest Louisiana, where the people who are pumping your gas are funnier than most of the people on television. Just this kind of upside down way of thinking. And as a mom raising two boys, I mean, they would stuff each other's bodies into trash cans and roll them down the Hollywood Hills. I mean, every day was me screaming out the door, either for the dog or for the boys. Somebody had escaped. That was, I went to the pediatrician one day and he said, "You seem like a nervous mom." And I said, What? No, I just have PTSD from the boys. Yeah. And so the first time anybody suggested a special, it was this marvelous lady. I'll shout out her name, Melanie Vesey. She started up as a dancer in New York City. She became a stand-up comedian here, and she had specials and she had shows and everything. And she basically stopped to fuss at everybody. And I say that with true love. Like, get your promotion together. Nobody knows who you are. And it helped so many comedians. And so she formed a company called Promotional Rescue. And we were already friends. And so I said, I don't know how to tell people, gee, we're very funny, come and watch our show. And she said, "Where's your special?" I said, "What? No. I went to bed for 3 days, JJ.
No.
Where's my special? What are you talking about?" But gradually, people's faith in you brings you along.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, "Look, you have 10 years of jokes about the kids you've never recorded. You have an award-winning short story that won the Columbine Award for Peace. Have you ever recorded it?" No. So that's the stuff as performers, as creatives, that you don't think about. You don't think about putting your stuff out there. And when they introduced me to Comedy Dynamics, I really knew Gary Robinson was my director. He's an award-winning editor, director, works with Spielberg. And he said, "You really have a special, and you need to tell it." And that's how it all, like, Comedy Dynamics has just swooped in, took it the first day. I mean, it's just been a ride. So excited to put it out there. All my stupid mom jokes, they're out there now.
Tell me more about your about the creative process, like figuring out what jokes you wanted to tell in there, and then also the production process of where you shot, how long it took, all those details.
Oh, wow. That's how it started was really me going to bed for 3 days and saying, "I will never do this. What a bad idea." And then it starts to work on you. I call it the shower work during acting in commercials to movies that were high pressure with big stars and stuff. I would do all my workouts in the shower.
Mm.
Water somehow seems to bring out all of my writing and creative rehearsals and stuff. So my water bill is high, but I'm a happy woman. And so I reviewed all those. And there were times, I was on a show really early on at the Comedy Store in the main room. That's 300 people, right? And I told the producer one of my new jokes, and he said, "Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that, Rosalie." And I said, "No, no, they're going to get it." And I had so much confidence in it that I went out and told the bake the baby joke. And all the parents in the audience died. It was such a crushing joke. And that's what I thought, well, if they got it and it's okay to cross that line and kill babies. Once you cross that line and you're effectively a murderer, um, you can tell it in the special. And so I spent a year taking all those early jokes that were when the boys were little, which is the most ridiculous times. I call them the hell years. You are out of your mind chasing them, and put it into something, and then end with the teenage years where you have to be brave as a parent. You know, they will tax every single fiber of your being while they are exploding with their emotions and trying to figure out and navigate the dangers out there on the
Mhm.
planet, because we don't know what their daily lives are in school. We drop them off
Mhm.
in the morning and we don't know what really happens there. And so the ending of the special is actually the Columbine story of how strong you have to be and how you have to stand up for your teens and even fight with them to keep them safe. You have to be prepared. And so it's really like a love letter to my kids, this model mom,
Mhm.
to go from an unprepared modeling. That's my experience. I was a model and they gave me my baby in the hospital. They said, "Oh yeah, you can take him home." And I'm going like, "You okay, you trust me? You're going to let me leave with this little thing? I'm a model." And no experience. They don't test you. You know, they let you just walk out.
I think that's what I loved about the special so much too, is that you just went there with it too. It was just raw, it was honest, it was just talking about the real like moments and things that happen in parents and in navigating that journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, how do your kids feel about it?
Oh my gosh. They've forgiven me, which I think is, they're like dogs, you know, they forgive very easily and they forget as long as you feed them. You just have to keep feeding them. That's what I've found is food is the key to everything. They were
Mhm.
very proud of it, actually. They were proud I told the truth. They remember how hard I fought for them, and they were able to laugh at themselves, which is to me the true sign of mental health.
Mhm.
Is if your kids can laugh at each other, if you can laugh at yourself, that means they're safe. You know, you
Yeah.
have to be in a safe place to be able to laugh at yourself. The people who can't laugh at themselves and take themselves too seriously have such a hard time in life.
Mhm.
Such a hard time. It's sad. Makes me sad.
Uh-huh.
How did you talk about how you did make this transition, from just amazing model to, film actress, all this, and then now, because stand up is not easy and very scary for a lot of people. So what was that like?
It's so different than anything I had ever done before. I mean, my first time up, my knees were literally knocking. You could hear them. I was holding onto the stool and the mic stand. Um, but it was funny. I had spent my life in beauty and fashion. I uh, m- I related to a camera lens much easier than to people.
Mhm.
And when I became an actor, it was the same thing. I worked very closely and very well with directors and stars because they kind of got it, the pressures and stuff. And I particularly loved the experiences. Tom Selleck, Carol Burnett, all the way to, um, I don't know, Pierce
Boston.
Brosnan
Uh-huh.
was amazing, and Shirley MacLaine. We did a Visa commercial together. We spent 7 days shooting a Visa commercial together with Shirley. Um, but all that stuff prepares you to speak about other things than what's going on in your mind and in your life, right? You are saying some great writer's lines on a stage. You might get a standing ovation and feel like you've really accomplished something, but really all I was doing was being given the gift of being able to portray what someone else had envisioned. And so you're almost like an interpreter. I don't know. Judi Dench says it much better than me. Go watch her explanation of acting. But it's a lovely profession. It's beautiful, and you have a union to protect you. You know, it's a beautiful profession, but it's also there's all the dark sides of it, which as a young girl, you're not prepared for the dark people in modeling, the dark people in the movie business. I ended up doing commercials primarily because I was a young parent. I was at this little private kids school, and I walked in, and there was a dad dropping off his little girl, and he had his butt in the air leaning over to kiss her. And I looked at his butt and I went, "Oh, I saw that last night on TV." And I thought, "Oh, Rosalee, you can't do movies anymore. You can't. You're raising two boys. They're going to be in a bar in Louisiana and get into a fist fight because somebody said, 'I saw your mom's titties last night.'" I can't do that. I had to choose clean, clean. And commercials are so clean. You don't even have a shirt lower than this. It's commercials. There's no titties in commercials. And so I felt very comfortable there. I was maturing out of being the roles that I was so used to and could booklet. I shot 19 commercials one year. I mean, I was just good at that, right? But I was feeling the yearning to do more. And Tarantino graciously took me on as one of his only two female directors shooting cars. Now, my dad was a used car salesman. So all I ever wanted to do was write car commercials, shoot car commercials when I was getting out of actual acting, and go behind the camera. And I wrote a beautiful campaign, and that's why they took me. And I was thrilled. And I was in an editing room working on a documentary, and I got the phone call from St. John's. "We're sorry to inform you, you've been diagnosed with a cancer that there is no known cure for. There's no known cause. You don't have any time. We've scheduled you for tomorrow morning at 9. Please contact your family and get your affairs in order."
Oh, wow.
I was on stun. My whole world just kind of had colors in it. It's like I couldn't think straight anymore. And I finally just thought, it can't be me. They're making a mistake. And then the next thought was, why not me? Why not? Over the next 48 hours, so much happened. I had a girlfriend, Janice Tomlin, who was a producer, very famous 60 Minutes producer. And they had done a story about the breast center of the Potomac. She called those doctors. They got in touch with City of Hope. City of Hope said, "You have no time. You have no time. This is it." And St. John said, "But y'all are going to kill her. Y'all can't try these new fangled treatments." And my girlfriends were so strong. 3 girlfriends were so strong. They stayed on the phone, did 3 ways, and said, "Look, you guys don't know what causes it. You don't have a cure. They're getting results on the Potomac. What do you say?" And City of Hope convinced St. John's to try this new protocol.
Wow.
Girlfriends.
Yeah, girl power.
Girlfriends.
Those are, wow.
Girlfriends. Because I was in no state. I was just on stun. I couldn't make decisions. It's very hard because they offer, back in the old days, they would say, "We're going to put you in the hospital and operate tomorrow morning at 9. They would not ask your opinion. And today, protocol is very different. They say, "What would you like to do?" If you want to check out, we will support that. If you want to go through all these horrible treatments, we will support that. That is the patient's choice today. like that. Tell me what to do. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
But but it was for the best because Janice and Sandra and Nita took over.
Wow.
Yeah,
Then
they just took over.
what was that treatment process like then?
Oh, triple negative breast cancer back in the day. So this is 10 years ago. So it's the old way was when you were diagnosed with breast cancer, they would immediately take you in the hospital and chop off your boobies, get rid of the problem.
You know,
The problem is either that spreads it or that's not the problem or something's wrong with that and people were dying. And what they were trying at the breast center of the Potomac was let's start them on chemo, shrink the tumors until they're small enough to get clean borders. Your big thing that you hold on to is it in my lymph nodes and can they get clear borders? That's what you live to hear, right? And that's what we decided to do. So I went immediately on chemo. And then 3.5 months later, you go in and have your mastectomy. And then after you heal from that, because that's why people were dying, it takes too much time to heal from surgery. So the chemo didn't have a chance to save you. So by reversing that, that was the answer of the day. Remember, it's vastly different today, but that's what they were doing at the time. And then you have to go through the radiation because if you don't, what they're finding is that all the little teensy tiny things that have escaped are still floating around your body. So the radiation gets the rest of it. And that's how I lived.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
2015.
incredible. Huh.
Yeah. So now it's 13 years out. And I did I don't know if you know the Crow Comedy Club. It's a female-owned comedy club. Nicole Blaine started. And she does something called Storyectomy, if ever you want to meet any of those people. And Storyectomy is people who have survived ridiculously hard things and come out the other side to tell their stories. And so we just did that show. Yeah, we did that show at the end of last year. It'll be coming out soon with people sharing their cancer journeys for anybody who's interested and needs that help. There's some people at some film festivals I owe those interviews to, those sets to, because so many people are dealing with it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the boys moved home. By then they were in their 20s. I was thinking, I could just check out. I've had a good run.
Whoa.
I don't really need to suffer this much. Anyway, then I realized one had been in jail for overnight, and then the other one just finished school and didn't have a place to live. And I thought, maybe they're too young to leave yet. Maybe not yet. And so they quit their jobs and moved home and took care of me for a year. Let me just share with you. If the cancer doesn't kill you, your children will. Let me just say, they fed me. What? They were in the kitchen cooking with their girlfriends on speakerphone, and I would be in the bedroom going, help, help. They couldn't. Don't ever let your family feed you. Call your girlfriends because they won't bring you bagels and lox and cream cheese. They won't. They're going to make you do. It's going to be nasty. Don't do it.
I just love your humor. I just love it. All right. So now that after you went through that, what did you come out then being like your perspective on life change or what you wanted to then go after?
Well, thank you for bringing back to the point of all this. That journey is the reason I'm in stand-up. Because once you go through something that might take you out, once you face your own mortality, how can you go sell, like soap on a commercial? I couldn't get my heart back into servicing other people's needs, if I may, to sell their wares or their ideas. It was time for me to sell my ideas. And I had a dear friend who said the reason why this is taking you so long to recover is you needed to be doing stand-up with me. And I thought, oh yeah, no, that's not, no, you're out of your mind. And I went to an open mic and he signed my name up. I didn't know. Let me tell you something, JJ. I got on that stage and they handed me a microphone. I'll tell you something. This lady's got some stuff to say. I have some stuff to say. And I had never said it, you know. My ex said, you don't say a paragraph. Now I don't stop talking. It's finally all those years of saying other people's words was fun and fabulous and well paid and well taken care of to do it. But this, I'm broke and I love every minute of my life because I'm telling people my stupid stories. I tried to tell these stories as an actor and people would go like, oh, your home life is rough. They would walk on the other side of the craft service table to get away from me. They didn't want to hear it. But now that I can wrap it into humor, I think people are getting that we're all just a bunch of bozos and we're all doing the best we can. Try to stay well-intentioned. Try to follow the golden rule and help your friends. That's kind of it, right? Yeah.
So now do you want to just keep doing, like, you're hooked on the stand-up? You want to put it into more specials, more shows, you know, on your own terms?
Absolutely. Comedy Dynamics already asked me for my second special. I got nothing. No, I was on tour last summer and I was back in Louisiana and something happened. A girlfriend of mine said, Rose, they don't know you. Why don't you just tell them your life story? Thought, oh, that's going to take too long. And so what I did as a joke is I just ran my life together in 13 minutes. And the next day, my girlfriend said, well, you just manipulated. You just took over the whole night. And I said, you tell me your 13 minutes. And she went, oh, Rose, I could never do that. I said, you tell me yours. And she got really quiet and she started, this is one of the girls that saved my life. She said things about her family being in the army and stuff from her childhood that I had never known either. So we all have this huge story. And I like to think by telling mine, I'm helping other women to tell theirs. And children, too, you know, need to be able to tell the truth. And I mean, I had two girls come up to me at the Comedy Store, JJ, after a set and said, I'm going to go home and I'm going to pay my mom $500. I'm going to go pay her right now the money I owe her. I thought, oh, I won. I won. Yeah, I really do want to record that next.
Yeah.
It's very Southern to have run-on thoughts. We just roll. And I'd love to try to film that. That would really be thrilling. And then the short stories and stuff. I've got some pitches I'm working on. There was something I did called Comedy Girls Road Trip. I don't know, with your work, you've been on the road. You know what that is. You know what that
Probably.
is.
Yeah.
And so I took I had 2 years in comedy and I went on the road and a friend of mine said, Jessica and I are going to do a tour. And he said, Rosalee, you don't have any bookings. That's called a road trip. And so I took my iPhone 4 and I filmed me and my girlfriend, Jessica, on the road trying to get up in comedy clubs across the South. And it's on YouTube, Comedy Girls Road Trip. And luckily some people are interested in it. I sold it, you know, and then COVID hit and they said, we can't do a travel show. That won't happen. But it's coming back around and I've got some people interested in it. So I'd love to share what it's like, two girls on the road. I think that's hysterical. We were pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check that one out. All right, I do want to hear, I mean, maybe not 13 minutes, but your story is fascinating. So I would love for you to maybe tell a little bit for people who don't know about your story, the background. I mean, growing up on a farm, I mean, there's a lot of girls listening with, you know, big dreams, and to be like a high fashion model with you. I mean, you kind of combine it all here. You got the fashion, the entertainment, the sporty attitude. So anyway, just kind of give everybody a little more information about your story.
Oh man. Well, I was born in an adoption home in North Louisiana. And then my mom and dad were too old to get kids, and so they bribed a priest, and so they bought me for $500, and they also bought a boy to be my brother, and he was $500. So that was the price of buying children back in the day. And so, and he was a rough sort. Demons are real, big brothers. And I had 12 boy cousins then, and we all lived on a rice farm together. And my cousins would come over and visit and rip the heads off the Barbies and bury them in the backyard. And then when we would mow the lawn on Saturdays, they'd pop up and I don't have any trauma. I'm just fine. The kids think I need therapy. I don't think I need therapy. Do I need therapy? So it's kind of like that. And then I got married, and then there was a date rape. Everybody's date rape, because then you get married at 19. Doesn't matter. That's all hidden then. And then you move to Texas, and then somebody sees you making a commercial, and they hire you, and they take you to New York City. And then I met Eileen Ford. And then after a few years of doing all that work for Gloria Vanderbilt, I was the butt model on buses. And then after that, then they took me to Europe. They said, you have to go get fancy. And so, because, Europe polishes you. So I had to go and get high fashion. And that's why I'm such a snob, because they had people that would sew couturier things. Let me tell you, they sewed just like my mama did back on the farm. She made all my clothes. She even made me underwear out of batiste and eyelet ruffles. That's love. And so then I came back, and then I got knocked up, and I'm so sorry about that. First I was married and I didn't have kids, and then I had a kid and didn't get married. Oopsie. And then I got married and had kids, and that didn't work either. And then I moved to Los Angeles because I had an ABC comedy contract, and then they never wrote anything for me. And then I moved on to, I don't know, movies, I guess. And then after that, now it's stand-up.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, I gotta rewind though. I mean, there's so many nuggets in there. You've lived a life.
Yeah, it's been something.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with one of my producer buddies, one of the three girlfriends that saved me, Sandra Weintraub. And we were reflecting, because she's was the daughter of a guy who ran Warner Brothers, but never gave his children a penny, never helped them. They had to sink or swim on their own. And she was talking about, we never give ourselves credit for the stuff we've done. She directed a movie in China. She was like 22 years old. We are women that have been out there, and we don't take any of that credit. We think we stumbled along in our lives, but that's because we were maybe loved by our moms and dads enough to have nerve and courage and just think everything's fine. When you're young, oh, that'll work out. And you just go and do stuff. I think kids have a lot more anxiety today, because they can see into the future, and they are so forewarned by Instagram and TikTok and stuff, that they don't have the chance to just be. That's why the song Young, Dumb, and Broke was such a hit and resonated so much, because we were. Yeah. Nobody told us that. Yeah, they all told us you can't do that because you're a woman. But we didn't listen, because we knew how to build a go-kart. I mean, I broke my finger. I would have been the first female football player. They said, girls can't do that. And you went, right. And then you would just throw a spiral and knock them out. I couldn't hit a baseball, though. My hand-eye coordination wasn't that great. But I had a brother that was all-state football, all-state basketball, all-state track, 8 points above genius level in the Army. What was left for me? Comedy. That's all. That's all. That was all I could do, is be the clown of the family. That was so, you take what you can get, but you make the most of that.
Yeah. Do you often, because I love what you just said, and that's something I work on with myself a lot, because I see that too. Like growing up in Nebraska, I had dreams and goals, and I just didn't even question them. I knew, that I was going to play college basketball. I knew that I was going to move to LA. I was going to work in entertainment. I mean, you just know those things. And then I catch myself now, much older, hesitating so many times on different things, or having, that self-doubt. And I've been trying to really work on I want to find that young girl that's still in there, that one. So yeah, how do you kind of handle those situations, or remind yourself to be that fiery person that you were before and go after what you want to do?
I think that's a journey. I think everything you need to know at 16, you know all that stuff. And the world beats you down and tells you, no, you're wrong, long enough that you start to believe the world. And so my job is to not listen to the crits. And mostly I have to be in water, get in the jacuzzi bathtub and sit there for 45 minutes and pray and just sort of rediscover because my goofiness comes out in the bathtub or in the, you're goofy. You got to find your goofy place and hang out there. I don't know where your goofy place is. I couldn't hit a baseball. You're so talented. Maybe it's on the basketball court, but wherever it is, JJ, that your goofiness comes out, protect that. That's where you talk to you. The rest of it is all bullshit that doesn't matter. Once you face death, I want to say this because a guy who was staying with me as an Airbnb guy said, I want to be where you are. And he was this mega rich, wealthy dude. He said, I want to be where you are. And you know what I had said? I had said, the weird part is I'm not afraid of anything anymore. Nobody can scare me. Nobody has the power to scare me anymore. I'm too old. I've seen too much. I face death. I'm not afraid. Nobody can even take my life and scare me. Nope. They don't have that power. And that's a new place he said he wanted to get to. And I thought, oh, really? Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's an amazing place. I'm right there with them. I'd like to be there too. You also do, you meditate and stuff as well. What are some
Badly. I just want to tell everybody, meditate badly. Meditate badly. I told these friends, I said, I meditate when I drive. They go, Rosalee, don't do that. Please don't. What are you doing? What are you doing? I think the meditation that I defined the word as meditation was so off-putting to me for so long. I held it to a standard that was very different than prayer. But my mom had a saying. She'd come back to church and fuss at us for not going with her. And she'd say, I had a good pray. Today, I had a good pray today. And I know what she meant. She had a moment of being able to clearly focus on what I wish for the people that I love. And those moments are precious and rare to have a true connection with your higher thoughts, not your bullshit fear, which is way down here in your stomach, but your higher self. Connecting with that higher self is deep prayer. I mean, meditation and prayer, whatever you want to call it, zoning out. I don't care what you call it. It's time with your highest self. I once did this huge prayer. Oh, it makes me cry. After cancer, I realized the boys were hitting their 30s and I didn't know how to talk to them. Do you find men hard to talk to sometimes?
I can struggle talking to anybody sometimes. Like sometimes I'm such an introvert as well that I'm like, sometimes I just want to crawl back and I'm like, and my dad's really quiet too. So, I mean, we're both like, we can be really loud, but we also can have plus I'm struggling right now to talk, but I can have struggles talking with people.
Yeah. And especially I found like I go and hang out at the Improv, I go Laugh Factory or the Comedy Store or Ice House. I mean, we have so many brilliant clubs, Flappers and Ha Ha, where I hang out with 30-year-old men. Those are my friends now. All those young men, I love them and they don't see me as a threat. They see me as a person that is supportive of them and they can feel it. I got asked one night in the back of the store. People were coming off the main stage and giving me a hug as they left. And this young guy turned to me and said, who the fuck are you? But it's because we know how to love, right? We know how to love people who are artists, which is difficult. And when you talk about being shy, I was very shy. I used to say I'm afraid of my children because I was very shy. They reject everything you say. You can even just look at them sideways and they know what you're thinking and they hate what you're saying. And it's rough. But after cancer, we had gotten so close where they had to take me off a toilet, JJ. This was rough stuff. And but now they were going back to their jobs and back to their lives and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't know where I was going to fit in their world anymore. You know, the emergency was past. And so I asked one of the girlfriends, the three girlfriends, one of them, Nita in Texas, had turned me on to a healer who taught us about how to make soup that fights recurrences of cancer and stuff. So she was very into the healing thing. And I asked the healer, I said, how do you talk to men? How do you talk to them? And she said, you have to talk from your highest self to their highest self. Could you possibly imagine about 8 inches above their head and just speak to that? And I went, what in the world are you talking about? And she said, and then just ask, you know, the powers that be, the universe and stuff, what is it that they came here to do? So you can help them with that. And I went, okay, this is nuts. What are you talking about? I'm never going to hear. What? I don't know how to talk to them. You want me to go beyond that and do this? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So I went in the jacuzzi bathtub. And JJ, it was just a miracle. I said, all right, guys, you got to help me. Help me know what Lee and Charlie came down here to do so I know how to be of service to them as adults. And I want to tell you, within 10 seconds, I had the answer for both. I had the answer so that I knew how to address them going forward with respect for their journey. Because everybody is here on a journey. And now I had a way to speak to the hurt part in their hearts that we all experience to help them on their way. And then I could resume my identity as their mother at this time and being on their side with their journey. And in that, I re-found a relationship with them, and it has definitely changed everything. I don't know if you can see in I'll have to send it to you. I painted the big one when he was 3 and the little one when he was 2. And their pictures are faces of stalwart, opinionated, hurt, judgmental little guys. Because what I wanted to paint was that moment. I believe this with all my heart. This has to be true. It has to be. I know it sounds wacky, but I believe it. I believe we're up in heaven and we go, oh, I'm going to pick a model and a photographer. I'm going to come down to them. So they picked me. It's not my fault. They picked me. But when they get here, is there a time when our spiritual souls or whatever turns around and goes like, oh no, this is not oh no, I came to this. Oh no. And so I tried to capture that in these 2 paintings. Because I believe that, you know, as your being your parents, you know, your parents, your dad, you had to know who you were. But you also knew who they were. You know your parents. You know that. They know me better than anybody. And it all was getting clouded raising them from being the no monster. I was just the no. And so it got clouded that we couldn't see each other for a while. And I'm so glad we're over that. I'm so glad we're through that and that I can just support their journey.
You do just such a great job of, I'm sure parents out there really respect and love you for just what you say about the journey and the difficulties of parenting and raising children.
Well, I can't stress enough that they'll all end up on the couch anyway. So just give yourself a break. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, to change topics a little bit here, because while I have you, I got to ask for the Tom Girls listeners out there that just love fashion. I want to talk a little bit about
Ooh,
fashion with you.
yay.
So I just want to kind of talk about what your experience was like being a high fashion model, and then after that, we'll talk about what you still love about fashion and design that you love.
I love fashion so much. It's I have a really good friend that's Katie Rodriguez. She has uh, Resurrection, which is a famous store where she travels the world and curates designs from other eras and then
Hmm.
recreates them for celebrities today. She's such a magnificent talent. And luckily, she's in LA. And so I get to be reminded of that real couturier, real high fashion world. For me, I didn't look like the usual skinny stick person, and I was a little older, and I constantly made jokes like lens cap to photographers, and they didn't appreciate me. But I revered what these people did. The fashion houses I was most impressed with Stephen Schatz was a young designer. He's the one who took me to New York with their sewing staff. I don't know if people realize this or not, but designers have a vision. And of course, they learn how to sew themselves and they learn how to pattern make and they learn how to create, but they need a team. And those ladies and men who do their sewing is such an intimate relationship. And the girls, as they dress us, it's such an intimate relationship. You get very used to being naked in front of everybody. You're wearing pantyhose. Nobody can see anything. But I mean, they are trying to figure out how a fabric folds. And coming from the country, we didn't buy clothes. We went to um, Hyman's fabric store and touched all the brocades and velvets and silks and satins, and then we'd get patterns. And my mother used to hate it because I would go, sure, let's get this pattern, but can we make the sleeves like this pattern? She'd go, oh, here we go, here we go. She just wanted me to make a simple dress, and I was sewing by the time I was 5. I had my first
Wow.
machine. So this felt very comfortable to me. And my love of fabrics, textiles. Oh my gosh. A big challenge is going vegan because I'm a pescatarian, and it's due to the cancer. They think that's the best diet you can have is you stay with fish to get all your oils and stuff that you need and protein. But basically you're a vegan with fish.
Hmm.
And so it's a challenge creating fashions for myself now with those parameters because the opposite is plastics. You're going to wear plastics or animal. So I'm not sure about that, what to do about that. But the being there and experiencing people draping you, that's what it's called, is maybe because I was destined to be an actor, it felt like I would become whatever they put on
Hmm.
me. It was very inspiring, wonderful world, and it was a great life. When you are lucky enough to be selected, and you don't have to try to be a model. You walk in, they say yes or no. You'll know right away if this is your bag. And so once you're selected to do that, you're put with other girls who were born just like you, big feet, big nose, big eyes, skinny butt. You kind of all have that. You were an ugly duckling. So you have a lot of those insecurities already, but that makes you such a quirky person. It's interesting to the designers, or at least that's what I have told myself, is why I was accepted. It's beautiful. I wasn't allowed to do runways because of my hips. I was too curvy. And so they said, oh, well, you have a good face. Let's shoot her face. And so I became mostly beauty, mostly cover, stuff with my face. Somebody said, oh, you have a face like an avocado. This will work fine. I'm going, oh, good. Oh, good. An avocado now. Um, so much more became the Gloria Vanderbilt jean model because of the hips. So you'll find your place if they love you. If they love you, they want to work with you, and you want to take that journey, that artistic journey. High fashion is an artistic journey, just the way stand-up is becoming a poet. It's today's poetry on acid. It's the same thing. Fashion is the same thing. It's living rather extremely. You see all the beautiful places in the world. You are with people who are perhaps extremely vapid, extremely horrible human beings. They put me on a buoy for my first job in an ocean and sailed around filming me in a bikini, but there were sharks circling the buoy, and I was shaking so hard out of fear, and my teeth were chattering that they said, "Stop moving. We're trying to film you. Stop moving. You're ruining the photographs." And I said, "Sharks!" And
no.
So it's a little like that.
Yeah. What was other than, where there were no sharks, what was your favorite destination where you shot?
Oh, I love Morocco and Spain. Morocco and Spain are once again, very extreme locations in Morocco. The extreme heat, the bougainvillea. It's so inspiring. You're sort of, I don't know if you spent time in the desert other than Coachella, but it's an extreme experience, the desert is. And Spain, it's like, I know I'm going to get hit on the head for this, but it's like Italy, but nicer. It's the good food. You can't eat it. You can't eat the good food. It's not for you. You have to, no, not for you. Don't eat. Somebody reported me for eating ice cream to my agent.
Oh.
You have to be skinny. You have to be on the vodka popcorn diet.
The vodka popcorn.
I like ice cream. I don't know what to say.
What now, other than obviously wonderful glasses, what is your fashion style like? Or
you
what?
do know these are broken, right? I just want all you girls who are trying to be perfect models. Okay. I don't know if you know this or not, but this is Scotch tape and glue because my dog sat on my glasses right before my show on Saturday night at the Ice House. Sat on my glasses, snapped them in half, and it's taken me a week. I'm trying to. If anybody has any Versace glasses, I'm looking for them. What was your question? I got distracted.
Other than the wonderful glasses, what's your style like now? Do you have a go-to look that you like or brands that you love wearing?
I guess my favorite brand today is, this is a Catalina Island shirt with all my kids. They were sailors and stuff. That's their stuff. My favorite I used to wear the boys when they would outgrow their clothes. I would wear their clothes. But now they told me I can't do that anymore. I think I love Katie Rodriguez. She dressed me for my interview sessions, which were the tee-up for the comedy special I Tell the Modeling Stories, which is I'm dropping them little by little on my social media stuff. You guys, anybody interested in modeling, you guys can listen to those stories. Might shy you away from the job, but you might like it. But they're all on Rosalee Mayeux on Instagram. I love her stuff. She dresses me in a way that is a nod to femininity, but still clean lines, which I just happen to love. There's a Chicago group, and I have their Human sweatshirt, and I was given it by my stepdaughter, who's in the fashion world in Chicago, right? Because the guys live upstairs from her that designed these sweatshirts that say Human. And I said, you do realize, Maria, that soon that will be an important distinction we'll have to wear. We'll have to have Human t-shirts because...
Yeah, sadly.
Yep, we're getting there. Yeah. We're getting there. And then, the stuff that I loved was Miu Miu the most when I came out to try to find find my own style. It's hard to find your style after
Okay.
you've gone through pregnancies. Your body's not the same. And then there's the poverty of stand-up comedy. Everybody just stays in their jeans and sweatshirts and t-shirts. That's your whole thing.
Yeah.
I was so surprised. I did a photo shoot. Oh my God, JJ, there's this photographer named Storm Santos and my PR lady from Mark PR sent me to him. And he said, what style do you like? What clothes do you like? You were a model. What fashion? And I said, well, t-shirts and jeans. And that's luckily not what the stylist showed up with. She interpreted that as, this girl needs help. This girl really help this woman. Because it's been so many years since I've modeled. I didn't really have an opinion. I'm just wearing a t-shirt and jeans and sneakers and trying to spin some funny jokes and make some people happy with the world the way it is. That's my only job right now. So I want to make you smile.
That is one of the most important jobs right now, I think, for everybody. So on that note, because I think that's so important, tell everybody where they can follow you and where they can see the special, every way they can find you to make them laugh.
Oh, I hope you guys come and watch Model Mom. It's ridiculous. And that was put out by Comedy Dynamics. So there's a link on my website, RosaleeMayeux.com, and it'll take you to the Comedy Dynamics, all the places from Apple TV and YouTube TV and everything in between. It's on SiriusXM, She's So Funny channel. And it's on Spotify and all the music places you can hear clips from it. I'm really excited about that. My boys' music is on Spotify before me. And so I said, all right, well, then all of us have to be on. Anyway, they don't think I'm funny. Yeah, they do. They do. I said, I'm so sorry. All my jokes are about you. And they said, that's all right, Mom. If ever we do stand up, all of our jokes will be about you.
Might come back. Some of their songs might start being about you.
Oh my gosh, they're ridiculous. I've tried to get men to write songs about me for years. It has never worked, JJ. No. But yeah, everything's under Rosalee Mayeux. My socials on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all that sort of stuff. And then there's the RosaleeMayeux.com, which I try to keep up with putting on my shows there, because I want people to come out and see live comedy so they can have some ridiculous fun with me. Yeah. I love that.
Well, I got to get out and see you. I would love to come see you in person.
Oh my gosh, you're so invited. Yeah. Oh, JJ, that would be so fun.
I'll look at the schedule and I got to make that happen.
Okay, awesome. I would love to give you a hug in person. Yeah,
I absolutely love you. I love your energy. I just love, like I said, you had me laughing when I was watching your special. Again, just from the starting line, I was like, oh yeah, I love her. So I just, thank you for everything you're doing. And I just wish you like the best of luck and just keep being fearless and teaching us all these wonderful life lessons that you're teaching us.
Oh, thanks, JJ. That's huge. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for us today. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Please subscribe so you don't miss any of the future episodes, and we'll see you here again next time. Get out there. Bye-bye.